Hello everyone, my dear blessed ones. It is great to speak to you today. I'm going to start this without everyone, so I hope that I have this turned on right. But good day to you. I hope you've caught up on the videos, because I've got a lot more questions to answer here, and so I'm just going to try to dig in here, but certainly it's a pleasure to hear good stories from you. I know some of you are working hard at your issues, and we'll talk about some of that. But boy, it's, there's just this positive and negative, up and down, yin and yang, So you're going to have the good and the bad. You're going to see this going back and forth. The more that you pull yourself back, though, in terms of consciousness, the less you're affected by that positive and negative, the ups and downs. So the less you care about the outcome of things, the better off that is. But let's get into talking about the issues of the day. Okay. So I'm going to sit in this blood work, and this is actually a urinalysis, and it says here, in a urinalysis on a blood work, when you look at appearance, and the appearance, it says color appearance, and then it has the gravity and pH and glucose, and whether you have whites and reds, whatever else in the blood, in the urine. And, of course, appearance, I'm always looking at appearance because if you're filtering, it's going to say cloudy. There's also a new little space there on the urinalysis for mucus threads. I don't see them on this one, but some of the newer ones have mucus threads, which I thought was quite interesting, and I don't know how they view that. Certainly, we view it as a good thing. And this, of course, appearance is clear. And the question is, Robert, when they assess this, is it right away or do they have to let it sit? You're going to see a cloudy urine irregardless. You don't have to let urine sit. That's just to let all of it fall down to the bottom to see how thick it is. But you should see cloudiness right off. Right off when you do that. I'm going to say if you're drinking tons of water, maybe, you're going to see some clear urine toward the end of the day there. But let me go over this one, because this is Kayla, and she says, I know myself and several other people on the Facebook page are dealing with very similar issues, so I wanted to ask you directly for some insight. I know I have heard you address this in past videos and have tried what you recommended, but nothing is seeming to get better. But I was wondering if I needed to do anything different. Now, she's for over 4 months straight, which is pretty dang good. No cheating either. She has been 100% fruit. That's pretty cool. I have been on tons of the herbals as well the whole time. The issue is my digestion. And this is a big issue here. We talk a lot about the lymph. But the lymph is what filters through all the digestive organs just like it does everyone else, because every digestive organ you have is made up of cells and two floods. Everywhere we go, we find the cells and two floods everywhere we go. It's just the cells are specialists, and depending upon the type of gland or organ that we're dealing with, depends upon the cell and the specialty of the cell and things like that. But we still have the two universal issues, consumption and elimination. We still have these two issues at the cellular level. So over time here, and because man has been doing the high protein / dairy type foods, he has not only filled his body full of mucus, but he's just wrecked his GI tract and kidneys. And if you were to pick specific tissue that is probably genetically the worst out there, you're going to find the GI tract sits pretty bad. Most people have chronic bowels at one level or another. They're spastic, they're ballooned, they're pocketed diverticulums, you name it. You prolapse like crazy. I think I told you I knew a surgeon back in the early 70s, and he said he only saw one healthy colon in the early 70s, and that was at a 4-year-old girl dissection at Harvard. And I thought, wow. And that's in the 70s. So if you go back and read the natural health books of the day, and you go back into the 1900s, early 1900s, they were concerned then because colon cancer and colon issues were at the top of the game, digestive things, malabsorption and stuff. So this is a big deal. Now we're understanding that the kidneys are just as bad, but even worse in the sense that they filter the internal waste from all the cells. Well, I don't know which is worse, not to poop or not to eliminate cellular waste, because it's all acids, it's all can hurt you. Elimination is as vital as consumption. You can't have one without the other. And that's been the fault, I feel, of the allopathic thinking. And of course, most pharmaceuticals are suppressants at some level or another. And like I said, Mucinex has been shown to be somewhat of an expectorant and touted as an expectorant, which is what they needed to do. They needed to come back and get into more herbal botanical thinking. And of course, Mucinex helps to pull out mucus. And that's what you want. You don't want to do like an inhaler, which locks everything back in there. Because what you don't eliminate today is your nightmare tomorrow, when it comes to that sort of thing. Now, anything I eat, melons, oranges, mangoes, etc., it all comes out looking literally the same as when ingested. I am constantly bloated and gassy. I also get pains in the stomach area, radiating to the back when eating certain fruits like melons. And that, I hate to hear that, because I do know that is a digestive problem, since it is carbohydrates. You know that carbohydrates uses the pancreas as its digestive gland. And so this would indicate digestive enzyme problems. Now the problem comes in here with the use of digestive enzymes to get remedy, because you will in turn feel better for short periods of time, but I'm getting them in here more regularly now, showing extreme digestive problems after taking long-term digestive enzymes. I feel it is a big-time no-no, unless it's maybe those papaya ones. I just find that one has to be very careful when we're dealing with endocrine, exocrine glands, and that's just what the pancreas is. Just like all the other glands, the adrenals and everything else, we don't sometimes consider the pancreas as a gland. And we talked about the insulin. By giving insulin, your beta cells quit producing it. The same thing as by giving cortisone. Your adrenals quit producing cortisol. When you take it, your body quits making it, and then you really compromise yourself for the sake of a short-term remedy. So the sad thing is that there's an X amount of time people have to go through in making things well. So I'm going to be on the pancreatic formula 2-3 times a day. I'm going to do small meals more often, and I'm going to digest in my mouth more. I'm going to sit there and chew. And I taught myself this years ago, and I'm always the last one at the table to leave, because I'm a slow chewer now. I don't sit there and swallow my food. I taught myself years ago, what was it, the old thing, chew 45 times or whatever? But I sit there and chew and digest here as much as I can, and then let it finish up in the pancreas. The fact that you're feeling that sort of thing does show that you have issues with the stomach and the pancreas and maybe even the liver. So, the liver, of course, deals with fatty acids. And so that you would find that if you had more fatty type, maybe even fruit like avocados, that might bother you. And if you were having both gallbladder, liver, and hepatic and pancreatic problems, you could actually alternate 1 bottle of pancreas, 1 bottle of liver gallbladder, 1 bottle of pancreas, and 1 bottle of liver gallbladder. And I would do the capsules on these, particularly with the pancreas and the liver gallbladder, because they're stronger, I think. At the same time, I'm going to use the GI Broom. I'm not going to try to push my foods through too fast, but I'm going to try to get some astringent action going. Again, this goes back to chronic bowels, branches off the tree, the pancreas, the liver gallbladder, how they're going down. And so look at your eyes, take a look at the pancreatic area, the liver gallbladder area, see what you see. If you have a big lacuna, a big lesion there, a pattern there, it might take you some time to repair this, honey. I don't know, but go slower with your meals, less is more at a meal, and super chew. Digest here in your mouth and go slow, because this is definitely suggestive of a serious pancreatic problem here. And sometimes we don't realize things, and still we go on. Like fruit is the simplest food on the planet to digest. You can't get much simpler than fruit to digest, even more simple than berries. And melons are, of course, the simplest. I mean, they're in and out like nothing. And if you're having problems with those, that to me shows more of a serious nature. Now, you could do a pancreatic glandular. Boy, I would. Just to hit that pancreas with a glandular to try to wake up those cells. At the same time, I take a look at the pituitary just as a look-see, because that baby, the head area, controls everything. You could use lower circulation to move blood more aggressively in the pancreas, the pancreatic capsules, pancreatic glandular, chew more, digest more in your mouth, smaller meals more often, things like that. Get more aggressive with the cleaning of the gut, the GI tract. Definitely have to realize that on top of all of this, you've got to get your kidneys filtering, because why do we have pancreatic or liver gallbladder problems or gastric stomach problems? Why do we have these problems? And this, you can go right to the diets men have been on, but these diets, these high-protein diets, have not only set up a lot of degrading of tissue, but in particular the GI tract and kidney tissue. And boy, so now we start having lymphatic problems within the pancreas, lymphatic problems within the wall of the bowel causing malabsorption, lymphatic problems in the wall of the liver and gallbladder. This is why we get fatty livers and why we get itises, pancreatitis, hepatitis, gastritis, enteritis, small bowel inflammation, colitis, colon inflammation, all acidosis. Man's trying to make it more complicated and complex than it really is. And to that end, he's losing his financial picture, he's losing his health, he's losing everything for the sake of the intellectualism and of the mind. You got to pull back and keep things simple sometimes. Man keeps thinking the more complicated, the better. The answers have got to be so complicated to life, and that's the problem. The mind has consumed man and taken him down. So now we have to gain our spirituality, our consciousness back, and pull back and realize simplicity. And simplicity is the order of the day and the healing of the day. This constantly bloaty and gassy. Now here's another thing you might find there, sweetheart, is you might find an orange in your eye. You might find a lot of sulfur. Fruits actually start pulling on sulfur. Fruits are astringent. And you can see the difference by eating for those that are sensitive, you can see the difference by eating a small little piece of fruit when you have sulfur problems and a vegetable, and the difference between the astringent properties of each one of those. You can tell it right off. And so if you have sulfur, get on that GI Broom and keep pulling, because there's no easy remedy to any of this. This is a process of rolling up your sleeves, putting on the robe, jumping on the bronco, locking yourself in and riding it. Yeah, and moving where we can, using herbs, glandulars, foods, fasting, things like this to help us, And could be you might need to move up into a water fast later on or something, try that a little bit, 3-day or something. But I definitely had a lot of cases like this, sweetheart, and I'm telling you, there is people out there like that. So bad, in fact, with the gastroparesis, which is the paralysis of the stomach, not only are they not digesting, they're throwing everything right back up, a lot of them. So it's like, man's got themselves pretty far, down the tubes to Hellville. So walking back to Wellville can be challenging at times. But we're all doing it. We're all walking. We're walking together. We're holding each other's hands. Remember that. We're all here to help people. The ways also, and don't get mad at me, but if someone gets out of balance, I might try to get you into balance. So it's just that sort of thing that I'm always going to be here to help pull you into balance. I am supporting the adrenals with the herbs. Couldn't handle even wow, look at this. Couldn't even handle 200 adrenal glandular after 2 months on the 400s. Holy crap. Also, I have been on the pancreas. Oh, wow, look at that. And stomach and bowel 2 formulas for 3 months and a liver gallbladder before that. Wow. I have been on the GI Broom for 2 months. Holy moly. I even tried a bottle of pancreatic glandular. Well, see, you just tried just what I would be doing. I really tried a super chew too. The beauty of this is we all think alike, you know. Well, I don't know what to tell you outside of that one. Do you have sulfur in there? And maybe the sulfur is inhibiting that. You know, you could try another thing is pull off of everything. Just pull off of everything. Try the opposite. Just pull off of everything. Keep doing the super chew and small meals more often. Maybe do more juices and swish them out in your mouth, and maybe go on a little bit of a juice fast. That sort of thing might be helpful. Same with the vegetables then, because if you're not digesting the fruit, I don't know how in the hell you could digest vegetables. Same gland, same problem there, you know. Maybe there's something else there. Now, after my last juice fast, well, there you go. God, you guys think I tell you, my stomach has started acting up and became spastic when I ate the fruit. Well, you know what? It could be you pull something forward. You might want to go back on another fast, you know, and keep trying, because sometimes on these fasts we can pull some gnarly stuff, you know, up pretty good. Then sometimes get anxiety. Oh, wow. So you have, you know what, you might have a nervous stomach problem where, remember, that's the seat of the autonomic, which goes back to the adrenals as well. So yeah, you could have a highly inflamed stomach, or again, the lymphatic system in the wall of the stomach and that sort of thing. And this is all slow for you to get this inflammation out of the wall of these tissues. You know, it might just be that sort of thing. It's either that or it's the sulfur, as far as I know. I can't imagine anything else because you've been doing. I believe I have low hydrochloric acid. Well, you don't need any much for fruits, berries, and melons anyway, and you don't want to take it either. I know I have destroyed gut flora in the past too. Well, but that seeds itself pretty good. That wouldn't affect digestion so much. I think this is something else than that. The flora is easy to reestablish in the gut. It's like a septic tank. You know, I've told you I put in a lot of new septic tanks when I build houses, and I don't seed them at all with bacterium, because nature, you can't keep microbes out of you, and they'll reseed depending upon the food that you're eating. That's the issue. You've got, I forget how many types of bacterium, but there's hundreds of types of bacterium out there. I am doing something wrong to fix my pancreas, liver stuff. I don't think so. I don't think you're doing anything wrong there. Tell you what I'd like. Get a picture of your eyes and let's talk about it, okay? I'd like to see what your eyes look like so we can take a look at that. That might be where your answer would be. What can I do different to help this? Should I back off the 100% fruit for a bit? Add avocado, cucumbers, and salads? You know, you might try that. You might back off a little bit and see, because if it doesn't happen on vegetables, then it's not the pancreas. Then I'll have to say that, might be interesting. You might have a lot of sulfur. I don't know. But I'd like to take a look at your eyes and see if we can see what we see there, you know. Should I, see, I know myself and the other folks are wondering this. It's a real struggle. As we're not getting the nutrition we should for a healthy detox with no digestion happening. I appreciate your help. Oh, you got my help all the time. Well, you know, I have to say that, of course, I don't like that situation either. And we've had a lot of cases of that, but generally one of these ways that you've been working at generally fixes that, you know, and helps that up. So I don't know, you know, you might break off of everything for a couple of weeks, all the herbs, everything, you know, and then maybe go back and try eating your avocados and a salad or something, and see if you can't bring your body into balance and then go up a little slower. Could be, you know, because sometimes when you start detoxing and you start breaking things up and pulling things to the surface, you can create some things like that. So, you know, you just keep driving your car to Wellville. That's all I can say. You might try some more juice fasting, but sounds like that juice fasting got some things going. And so, you know, sometimes we get things stirring, but it's just right there on that edge. So I just keep plowing that field. Again, I like to look at the eyes, see if it isn't truly a pancreatic problem, but it sure sounds like it. you know, unless you're so spastic that it's moving the foods through too fast, especially the fruit. The fruit is real aggressive, and so sometimes it creates a little spasticity since there's so much inflammation in the gut. And of course, with the fruit and being astringent can create some spasticity, and maybe your foods are going through too fast and not having time to digest. There's always that problem. I'd like to see your eyes for sure and see if you have sulfur in there. But I'd still keep driving that car down that same road, because after a while, everything's got to turn around the other way. You're doing everything just right, and I can't think of anything else unless the pituitary has some effect here for some reason. I'd probably add lower and upper circulation just to see if I can't get more blood aggressively moving through the stomach and pancreas and all that. At the same time, make sure you're filtering in your kidneys. Take a look at the lymph in your gut there and see how you are there. You could have a real chronic situation here. And in a chronic situation, which is where a lot of us are here, at chronic levels, it'll take you a while to get back to a sense of wellness. And that's the problem. We just get to these chronic levels, and it just takes so much to get us back. But you certainly are on the right track, because there's nothing else out there. I would definitely try what you suggest about backing off, maybe even back off the herbs for a week or something. Maybe it's just everything was too intense on your body, and back up and give your body a break, have it take a breath for a minute, and then start slowly or something. See with that, play with that, and let Jen B know how you're doing. If you can, send her a picture of your eyes with a note that I did a video and ask you that, and your name on there, honey, and let me take a look at that. But thanks for that. And I know there's a lot of people out there, and there's all kinds of, well, I mean, you got digestive, or you got kidneys. You know, you got digestive, you got the that whole side of it, and then you got the elimination. We got a lot of problems for a race, don't we? It's shockingly so. How much? This is Maria. Oh my! Now this one, oh my God, I am so terrified right now. I had radiation on my left breast in November '08. 2 months later, they found a white spot on the top of my left lung. So I did MRI and came up that it was a burn spot from radiation at that time. I was happy because it was not cancer, and the doc told me that radiation sometimes can burn a little bit the lungs, but I was totally fine. No, I am so worried about my lungs. What should I do? Well, Maria, I'm sorry I had to bring that up, but I'm not sorry I had to bring that up, because you're doing the right thing now. Now you got to go back and fix why you had the breast cancer in the first place. That's key. We got to go back. If we have medical intervention, we actually have to go back and fix why we had the problem. Because if we don't, we're going to get another tumor, aren't we? And that's where we come in. We see so many ladies coming back or coming in here with post-mastectomy or lumpectomy, and there's the tumor again, you know. And this time even worse on the chest wall sometimes, especially with mastectomies, and the lung cancer is high amongst ladies that do the. And this doctor just told you that they see that sometimes. They see that a lot, and yet they still do it. And it's like, why? You tore off the breast. You took out all, you got to clear margins, because generally they don't stop till they do. So why the hell would you go in and damage more tissue when you just removed the damaged tissue from the same type of acids one way or another? You see, it's so screwed up. They're so screwed up in the head that they can't even see that. And to me, when you start giving acids at the level of chemo, that's a crime to me. This idea, we're doing this to try to help mankind to survive, that's all bullshit. You know, this is a crime to do these things that causes the destruction of tissue. When you destroy tissue in someone, you're setting them up for death. Destruction of tissue is not how you get someone well. So you can see that we've got serious problems in allopathic thinking. And so all I can say is, sweetheart, get yourself alkaline. Alkaline will pull that radiation out and get on those lungs. Take a lung formula, maybe the 3-lung tea, start cleaning your lungs out. Dig deeper. Make sure your kidneys are filtering, your adrenals are up, of course. Go after that lymph system. The reason that you had that. By detoxifying the chemical acids, you'll also detoxify the radiation out of you. Done this for a lot of years. And that's your only hope, is to do that. Because some of these cells here, I tell you, through the years, you get so much knowledge and information here. I forget so many things that I can tell you. So many things. But I used to know about radiation a lot more, and how long it took from the time you burnt a cell to the time it converted to a cancer cell. And I can't even remember that for some reason. You know, there's so much information we cram in these little heads and brains, but there is an X amount of time. And I don't know how long, 3 years, 5 years, you have to look from radiation to the actual conversion to a cancer cell. And I forget, I mean, I've watched a lot of medical shows. Remember I told you this black surgeon was taking out this tumor of this little 12-year-old or maybe 6-year-old, I can't even remember how old, she wasn't very old, brain, and this was the 3rd time or something, and he said this is from the radiation we gave her, blah, 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 blah. And this was on live TV, you know, filming the surgery, and he's talking to the camera while he's doing it, and it's like, you know, when you know that you're going to actively destroy tissue, you got to start asking yourself, where's life for the soul and the individual involved in all of this? And is that really worth it to go through such extenuating things when someone is so advanced, other than picking up a new body? You know, I don't think we have any spirituality here on this level much. It's just sad to see that. You guys are the cream of the crops. You know, you guys are smart, you're awake, you're aware, and I appreciate questions like this. Don't be scared. Just roll up your sleeves and do something about your body. Fix why you had the tumor in the first place, sweetheart. But I'm telling you, these are facts, and they should tell ladies this. And also, quit putting these metal pieces in women. Quit putting metal in women's breasts, and quit radiating them. If you have to have a lumpectomy, okay, or a mastectomy, okay. But if you have to have a lumpectomy, I recommend trying the black salve first. But you should always try to get it out the right way, through the kidney channel. You should always go this way, because you always have to go this way in the end. Because if you don't fix why you have tumors, you'll have more. And the thing is, life just doesn't get better. It doesn't get better. So you guys are smart in going after this. And you just have to be aware and help other ladies understand. You don't radiate tissue after you've removed the stuff. It's already traumatized by the surgeon. It's already traumatized by the lymph sitting there for years and burning the tissue. We're traumatizing it anymore. There's only so much tissue can handle. You know what I'm saying? You know, health isn't destruction. I don't get where that's synonymous for them. You don't destroy cells. You know, that's where the buck stops. All right? This is from Clinton. Will you go into detail how to detox viruses out of your body, like exactly what to eat, when to eat it, and what herbs to take, and how often? Do you need to do enemas? Thanks again for the work that you do. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Clinton. You know, really, you don't have to do anything any different than what we've been talking about here. Detoxify the body. The body will clean all the mucus, viruses, proteins, in other words, acids, all this stuff, heavy metals out of the body. Just detox it just like you're doing. Follow the 14-week protocol, which is, you know, your kidney formulas, your lymphatic formulas, your GI tract. Go in and clean the body out. You don't have to think, well, what do I need to do specifically for virus? A lot of people take Parasite M and that, and we do give Parasite M because where there's viruses, there's funguses and all that kind of stuff, of course. But viruses are more proteins and acids. It's not like you can kill them, as far as I know. They're not single-celled organisms. They have to be detoxed out. But again, you know, there's so much hype about what viruses are even. It's just like a mess out there, you know. But I've never seen any HIV, Hep C, or any viral loads that you haven't been able to get a hold of ever. Not if you detox the body, just like we talk about here. You know, getting the kidneys to filter and going with the adrenals and getting them up, getting the bowels cleaned up, getting that interstitial fluid. Because there's nothing else in there, guys. There's nothing else in there. They don't go hiding and you can't come out. the body likes to purge itself and get itself clean. So, you know, you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. Let me see. All right, let's see what this is. I'm just going to start grabbing. I've got so many. They just throw all this. So I've got so many questions here. I'm just going to start grabbing and going. Let me see. From Sarah. I'm not sure if you can submit this for her or not. Let me see here now. This is Rossi, I think, from the Bahamas. I love you too, sweetheart. 2.5 years ago, I was stricken with RA based on the many visits to local doctors and expensive tests in the USA, and the local doctors all put me on prednisone and other drugs, whereas the U.S. doctor put me on natural vitamin C's, B's, K's, and D's, and all the others, including calprozyme, ultrazyme, multi. Now look at this, what this guy did to this lady. This doctor put this lady on calprozyme. I can tell you that's a no-no right off. Ultrazyme, I can tell you that's a no-no right off. Really slamming her with digestive enzymes and probiotic, multi-probiotic 4000, I can tell you that's a no-no. Magnesium is a no-no. Melatonin is a no-no. Yes, my diet remained the same, the basic acidic diet, meat, rice, and beans. So no one helped this lady. The medical doctors gave her some crap on something different. The American doctor put them on everything that we used to do years ago that you don't have to do anymore. Waste of money, waste of time for the patient. Has nothing, can't overcome RA with digestive enzymes or probiotics. Give me a freaking ass break. I mean, that's the problem with practitioners. They don't understand what causes things. So they're out there giving all this crap. They give you magnesium, which is antagonistic to calcium by itself. They give you vitamin C here, but they give you some calcium in Prozyme, whatever the hell that comes with it. Then you got the vitamin C is calcium antagonistic as well. Then you got melatonin, which is antagonistic to the pineal gland. You want to use a pineal glandular if you can't sleep. I don't care about B's, K's, and D's. However, in 2012, I did go to a high veggie diet, juicing loads and loads of celery and cucumber. I stayed on the diet for about 6 months. I started weighing 160 pounds by the time I finished this high juicing. I was still in pain and lost 30 pounds. So disappointed, I went back with the couching a family and friends to start eating meat and rice again. Oh, to regain my weight. Yet I'm still in pain from the base of my neck to the end of my toes. Did I say I'm 46? No, but you're 46. However, I knew deep inside this way of eating is not working, so I decided to eat gluten-free, use coconut oil, olive oil, gluten-free flour, and all of the healthy foods. I did not stop eating meat or rice, so the year went by. The pain remained. I never stopped searching the internet, the YouTube, and any natural help I can find. I did find some good docs that was making some of the ones that encourage no meat, but they still say eat organic meat. So there they go, still encouraging meat. Dr. Sebai did encourage no meat, no starch, but he encouraged grains. Well, that's starch. How can you encourage no starch, but you recommend grains? At least he was halfway on the right track. There was a chiropractor who said that bones can grow back. Absolutely can grow back. RA can naturally be reversed. He did encourage a fruit and vegetable diet, but not a high fruit diet. But he did as much as a chiropractor would. You know, fruits and vegetables, that's pretty good. I mean, you want a chiropractor like that. And more of them are learning you don't do the meats or anything that, everything turns into acids anyway. But with RA, it doesn't matter what arthritis you have. It doesn't matter if it's lupus, Lyme's, or fibromyalgia. It's systemic acidosis, and it is not fun. And you start mutating, you know, and the fans, as some of we know on there, Hildy and others know what this serious stuff is about. And they've had marked improvements and done incredibly well. I've not seen anyone that was focused, not straighten out their hands and their legs and everything else. Time, well, you know, I think, Gilda, you've done yours real well. Others are slower and some faster. You have all levels. That's hard to judge. But what made you different? Why did the day I found you, July 29th, 14, I asked no questions? That very day, I called my husband and asked him to bring me a bag of seeded grapes. That's pretty good. I was because you was the only one who said I need to detox. The others encourage fruits, veggies, organic meats, grains. Where you spoke sense, you spoke more sense, you spoke to me, you spoke to my consciousness. Wow, what's all this? You told me to wear the robe, prove it to myself. Yes, I was desperate to find help, but am sensible. I tried so much. Medicines, natural herbs, natural vitamins. I was looking for a natural, and you spoke to me, natural to me. Thanks, honey. Thanks for this. This is pretty nice. I have a book taking notes, so I am so ready to put everyone on the detox, but I have to wear the robe first. Oh, wow. This is the kicker. For the past 2.5 years, I've tried it all, and guess what? 2 weeks on just fruits. That's watermelons, berries, grapes. Okay, I ate acid food in small portions twice, but the good news is in 2 weeks my left hand was in a C cup position until yesterday. My fingers were able to bend. Yeah! Woohoo! Boy, you need 5 gold stars. Rossi, huh? You're doing good, sweetheart. And that's what I'm saying. Once you get these acids out that take you back into the fetal position, it'll unfetal you. You'll straighten back up, and life will be yours again. Absolutely. Good work, sweetheart. Good work. Damn. Was able to, and only in a couple of weeks you saw some release of that. You know, I had an ALS patient once, and she was in a nursing home. The courts, she married a wealthy man. Man, they tried the medical route. Well, you know where that takes you. Well, it took her down to Hellville, big time, worse than ever. Of course, she's in a chair, and she's starting to get, heads growing to the collar here, and, everything just locking into place. And finally, medical bills were, he finally got rid of her because the medical bills were just so astronomical, and ended up in the ward of a court, and the court put her in this friend's of mine's place down here. It's got it's where our clients come to stay, where they got all the raw food she does. And they take care of older people there too, and they fixed up their house into a nice place, and you got pools and everything. And so they put her in their place. And so they called me and said, got a new one for you. And she was locked. Legs, hadn't been able to open her up to clean her in years. She was just locked. And we filmed this, and we watched her as the days come by. Huh. Woo! I still cry when I think about that one, because she's so bad. She couldn't speak, and she just come unlocked like a flower. It was beautiful. And that was the one I was telling you that they took her to get a new feeding tube, a bigger feeding tube, and the medical doctor ordered so many cc's of water every hour and killed her, drowned her. Yeah. That one. Oh, wow. So you've done well. I have sold into this diet detox. I now know I don't have RA. I had mucus acid, and I can bend. Exactly. You take on these diseases and you wear them like they're your next best friend. That's what the thing is. Let's start speaking actualities instead of fabricated diseases and things like this. Just to get more on point of what it is. You got acids in your tissues. Detox them out. We don't need to get so complicated that we've lost our society. People can't even afford medical help anymore. Suffer for 2.5 years, yet in 2 weeks of detox I see progress. Thank you, Dr.Morse. You are 1 week. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. Wow. Thank you so much for this. Wow, that was sweet of you. And the staff, too. Thank you so much. Your staff, Elizabeth. Oh, thanks so much. Well, if they're not, they're going to get it. Thank you. Wow. Thanks. I appreciate that one. Let's see what this is. It says, not a member. Poor thing. Hello, I'm international student. I'm in San Antonio, Texas for a month and 2 weeks, and it's the 3rd time in hospital. Oh, what the heck? First time something bit me and my leg was swollen very much, and my doctor said me that I have cellulitis. He gave me antibiotics for 12 days, and after 2 weeks I come back to hospital. Infection was 2 times more powerful. Right there. Antibiotics. When you want the bacteria, You don't want to kill the bacteria. You want the bacteria. What they don't get is it's about the terrain. It's the sewage that's the problem. When you get bit, like from an ant or a wasp, and you go into almost an anaphylactic shock, which system is down in your body? Your blood or your lymph? I heard you. You were right. The lymph, always. That's your immune system. And so when you see heavy immune responses, your cup is full, baby. You need to clean your body out. And then everything is good and you're at Wellville again. You won't have a problem. You can take some ant bites. Fix the adrenals too, by the way. They gave me 2 antibiotic infusions, which were very strong for my body and affected my kidneys. Holy crap. Here we go. That's standard. All we got is antibiotics. Bring back the antibiotics. I'm from Romania, and I want to come back in my country if I don't feel better. Oh, wow. All right. Okay, so here's the thing. You got to start. You got to go into your lymph system. The very thing that all these videos are about. So you got to go after your kidneys now, of course. So you want to get into your kidneys. So you want to, do the first kit. I'm going to just say on this site that it's better just to do the 14-week protocol. Then if I have any other herbs I would add to that, I'll tell you. But I can tell you that get on the first kit because it does have antivirals and antifungals and all this other stuff in there. But then go on, follow those kits because you got 2 kidney formulas, you have 2 lymphatic formulas. Start cleaning your lymph system. Get your kidneys filtering because that's the only way you're going to fix yourself. It's the only way. And now that you've killed a lot of excessive bacteria in your body, you have to let some culture back in. Because if not, pain gets worse because now you have nobody breaking down acids. And if you don't have anybody breaking down acids will sit there going, yeah, here, like this one, here, take this one. That's a little pinprick uric acid. Here, fungal acid. Here, protein acid. Here, let me hurt you some more. Well, let's just kill the bacteria that break them down. Oh. This is something we have to rechange in our society, of course. But you can get your health back. I don't know what's going on here, my friend, but get into there. But I can tell you it's your lymph system. And cellulitis is just one word that shows you that you have lymphatic problems. But this is your lymph system, and all you have to do is get your kidneys filtering. Because whenever you get bit and you get too much swelling, your lymph system's down. And you got to get it cleaned up and filtering. That's all I can say. You got to do that sort of thing. Olivia, O-L-I-V-I-A, Olivia. My name is, Liv. My name is L-I-V, Liv. I'm 27. I have had hair loss thinning since I was 17. Imagine starting to lose your hair at 17. That's when you're just getting a full head of it. I tell you, I found out that I had a hormonal imbalance, high testosterone, 56, high prolactin, 105, high TSH, wow, 4.5. The number is, in parentheses, are the highest lab results they have ever seen. Wow, look at that. I then had an MRI and was diagnosed with a 0.5, I was going to say, something is stimulating this, whether it's acidosis or what. And so you have a 0.5. Now that's small, thank God. The 0.5 centimeter pituitary tumor. Well, that makes sense to me. At age 24, which has been determined to have been causing this imbalance, which is believed to be causing the hair loss and thinning. I'll say this. I don't consider that to be the case. I'll say this. The reason the tumor is the reason for the hair loss. Not the tumor caused it, the same reason. And that's acidosis, and that's your lymph system. So the same reason. Now this is a small pituitary tumor. So, baby, you want to get this out of there now. I don't know. I got to read on to see where you're at. But all I've got to say is that, when you start seeing higher levels of things, you've got something hyperstimulating. Well, now, wait a minute. How can a tumor hyperstimulate the pituitary gland? Because it's acidic, and sometimes acids hyperstimulate as opposed to break down. In the end, though, everything breaks down. Everything breaks down. So you can have some hyper levels initially from acidosis, but they're all going to end up going hypo. So you want to get this tumor out of here now. Your hair will take care of itself. Once you get this out, you're going to increase circulation, you're going to increase blood flow, lymph flow, all of this sort of thing upstairs. You'll get your hair back. Number one importance, fix the tumor. Get the tumor out. And that's going to go right back to probably chronic bowels and kidneys. So you want to fix that, clean up the bowels, clean up the kidneys, and really get yourself going. When I say clean them up, I mean get on fruits, berries, and melons, number one. And number two, get yourself on herbs that do that. Well, that's where our programs are geared and focused on. But if you can't afford it, look at our programs and buy bulk herbs and things like that that can help you that way. Try to make your own formulas if you want. Play however you do, but go after this. My hair thinning was stable for the first 8 years since it started. I lost about 50% until I started the medication. Medication. That hair loss with medication, do I need to read on? I started taking 2.5 milligrams of, I don't even know what this is, bromocriptine daily in February 12. What is that? In an effort to shrink, well then that's chemotherapy. So you took chemotherapy to shrink an already small tumor, knowing that, and took off a bunch more hair. Well, it had to be chemo to take off the hair, or highly acidic, and you're only 27. In an effort to shrink the tumor and bring my hormonal balance back. Don't you want to get rid of it? However, while on it, my hair got progressively thinner and thinner. Well, in a form of chemo, I suspect. I am now at the point I have 10% of my hair left. I have been off the meds for 7 months, since February 14th, and the tumor and imbalance are still there. Well, you got to focus on your lymph system, bro. And I'd be doing some serious grape fasting. Serious grape fasting. I do get my scalp looked at under a microscope and evaluated by a trichologist, hair specialist, and she informed me it is not hair loss, but hair thinning due to my hair cells being damaged. Under the microscope, you can see a few thick, dark strands, and all the rest are translucent and thin. So after the follicles are still producing hair, but are producing wispy, colorless strands, and not my genetic dark, thick strands they once were. Well, that's all acidosis doing that. That's all acidosis. Hey, Jan? Could you have Brenda bring me a glass of my ice water out of the refrigerator?
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you, sweetie.
Yep.
Thank you, honey. Thanks. I have discovered Luke Rowe, on YouTube, and have a free consultation from his company, Paradigm, and they have put me on a 90-day raw food, high enzyme protocol to shrink the tumor. Okay. Well, I never heard of enzymes shrinking tumors, but you don't want to shrink the tumor. You want to move your lymph system, bro, because this is nothing to play with. The protocol consists of green juice, lemon ginger blast in the morning, cultured berry smoothie, a bitter herbal cultured smoothie. Oh, thanks. Parsley, cilantro, and big salad at night. You know what? No, thanks. I am also taking 60 enzymes a day, 10 with each meal, and probiotics at night. I'm also rebounding 20 minutes a day and doing hot cold showers to get my lymphatic system moving. All right, I tell you, I'd change that. I would go on some serious grape fast, lemon juice fast. I'd ditch the enzymes. Because you're going to have some serious pancreatic trouble here if you don't. And the probiotics, what are you trying to do with that? If you were going to do it up like the guy on Ripley's Believe It or Not, then just go up to Alaska and start eating rotten seal meat. Rebounding, as long as your kidneys aren't filtering, you might feel your knees or hips after a while. You want to make sure your kidneys are filtering if you want to rethink this. And I know Lou Corona is probably doing some good things there, but I'll tell you what, kicking going up another notch. This isn't a liver tumor. This is a pituitary tumor. You've got to clean your bowels. Get on the GI Broom, the stomach and bowel formula. Start cleaning up the bowels. Get your kidneys filtering. Get the adrenals up. Start using herbs for all those things. I wouldn't use upper circulation formula. I wouldn't use a blood formula at all right now. Blood can feed, so I would pull off of anything like that. Definitely, my focus would be the GI tract, the kidneys, and the lymph system, of course, bringing the adrenals up, that sort of thing. In addition to the hair thinning, I have had acne problems. Well, it's all part of the lymph. It's all part of the same stuff of the tumor, bro. I mean, that's what... once you guys get this all down, you'll be like this, bam, 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 because it's that simple, And you'll be able to help a lot more people when you see that, because it's all of the same system. All this is correlating from the same system. I always have a lot of mucus in my throat, see what I mean? Which I had to spit up for a long time, as I could remember, which both had subsided, but I still an issue. I did drink a lot of milk as a child, just saying. As my family believed it was healthy, so did mine, and a standard American diet which I switched at around 19 years old in an effort to help my hair. But that's pretty good. You switched early on in life. I mean, even though, I was about the age I got into raw, I was 19, 20. I started getting into it anyway. I was under severe emotional, psychological stress and depression, which I have just started to recover from with counseling. But keep in mind that this depression, with all involved here and with the pituitary, you're going to see some slamming of the parathyroid gland. And this depression, and of course your adrenals with the anxiety and the emotions, this could just be coming from your bodies being highly acidic and limped up. Not necessarily need to go talk to a shrink. It could be your whole body's chemistry is out of whack. And of course, being the pituitary, controlling everything in the body can all go out of whack. Absolutely. Positive about the situation. Well, you can clean this right up. You got a small tumor. You can clean them right up, get your body filtering, but you got to learn these steps, because Lou's on the right track, but needs to go... get rid. Don't live on the enzymes. You're going to take all these enzymes and suddenly they're miraculously going to clean you. You want to get much deeper into your thinking. Get your kidneys filtering. Really go after that lymphatic system. I do some serious grape fast. I do a 40-day grape fast and then turn around and do a 10-day lemon juice fast. And I would do it now. Really start doing this the right way and you'll be successful. I am better now, but I wanted to mention that I know stress like that could hinder the healing. Well, only because it shuts your adrenals, and then slamming the adrenals slams the kidneys, and then, of course, with the adrenals, remember, dopamine is your relaxing neurotransmitter, and your epis, your epinephrine, norepinephrine, are your stressed or excited or energetic ones. Also, working with a naturopathic doctor who did a neuroadrenal urine saliva test a few months back and found that I have low serotonin. All my other neurotransmitters were considered normal. I have also had micronutrient testing. All these testings and things, you don't need to spend your money or go through all these. Your adrenals and kidneys need to be worked on. You need to filter. That. You need to get your bowels cleaned up. And it's your lymph system. So focus on that and you're good. You don't have to spend all this money now nutrient testing and all that. What's it going to tell you? Because if you got malabsorption, how are you going to fix it? And what is malabsorption? You see what I'm saying? All this kind of leads into the same. You got utilization. If you don't fix those, then you can't be focused on nutrients. So you got to remember the four things: digestion, absorption, utilization, and then elimination. The four essential processes of Wellville. You've got to digest your foods. You've got to absorb your foods through the bowel wall. That's a lymphatic issue. And you've got to be able to utilize, which is a hormonal and steroid issue. And then you got elimination, which is kidneys, skin, and GI tract. My question is, with this raw food and high enzyme protocol, do you think my tumor will shrink? I don't think so with the enzymes. They're expecting proteolytic enzyme to eat up a tumor. No. This is your sewer system's down, man. I think you ought to get on just what I said. I'd drop a 40-day grape fast right now. 40 days, you're eating plenty of food. Eat all you want. The darker grapes are the better one. And then turn around and do a 10-day lemon juice fast. And if it does, do you know if my hair will grow? I know your hair will grow back. The tumor is number one now. Get it out. Number one over everything else in your life is that tumor, because that's not in the place you want it to be. And you don't want brain surgery. That's a no-brainer. So get this tumor out now, my friend. Now, the neural lymphatic points on your back, get working on those. These are essential. Neural lymphatic points on your back. Get working them. Work them 2 or 3 times a day. That'll turn on kidneys. That'll turn on everything. Get way up there on your diet protocol in your stringent foods. Like I said, I would drop a 40-day great fast right now or tomorrow. Then turn around and do a 10-day lemon juice fast. You have to do another one, but get that tumor out. You got to get your kidneys filtering. This is of the lymph system. You know, kick it up. The hair will grow back fine. Don't even give that a thought. I promise you that. I'll get your hair up, but you get the tumor out. Predominant genetic hair thickness and color. Absolutely. If yes, do you know how long it may take to get the hair cells producing? Not until you fix the tumor. Remember, it's the system down. You have a whole system down. You got to fix this system. And you need to do it with probiotics, by bacteria, and digestive enzymes. Plenty of enzymes in raw foods. There's plenty of enzymes in raw foods. All raw foods are loaded with enzymes. Matter of fact, enzymes are everywhere. There can't be a chemical process anywhere in the universe without an enzyme present. So you would breathe them in almost. But it's that acidosis, and it's that thick lymph system. It's the mucus you're getting out. It's all the milk and stuff. Did it to me too. So we just got to pull all this out. And your kidneys and skin are the way to go. Get yourself sweating at a sauna. Open up. Elimination. And you'll get this out and you'll be good to go. I'll get your hair back. Now, when you get the tumor out, then go upper circulation, brain and nerve to get the hair back. I don't know how long it'll take you. I don't know. Tumor out, number one. 3 to 6 months at the most. If you're really strict, it's a small tumor, maybe only 3 months. You know, then I'd get on the, at the same time, I'm on the kits. I'm going after, I'd be on lymphatic, your lymphatic capsule, lymphatic tincture. Write those protocols. I designed that 14-week protocol for people that have the word diagnosed with cancer. Tumors, whatever. Well, you really want to get after that. That's number one. That then will clean the terrain for the hair to come back. If not, you're trying to make hair grow in an acidic medium. Good luck. You're forcing things and you're not fixing the real life-threatening issue. Very important, my friend. Very important. All I really want is the tumor gone and hair back. Assured to get both of them. You get focused and strong, okay? LIV, live is right, and be glad to help you. Be glad to help you do that. Let's see who this is from. I'll just say Will. I wanted to say thank you, and I love you. I love you too, man. Thanks so much, you guys. Every one of you. Every one of you are sweethearts to me. I know sometimes we get out of balance, and just because I come on here and this is a teaching videos. So when someone gives me some crap, I'm gonna tell you how we handle it, because this is teaching videos. I'm not going to be doing this forever. You guys are doing it, and so you're doing such a good job, and there's so many of you that are doing so great and helping so many people. I'm proud as you can be. We're doing the work of the Creator. I mean that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing it. And I just not to throw things like that out, but it's just you're doing such good jobs. And it takes all of us to working together, because that's how we learn. I learned from you guys, and I'm always excited to hear what you found and what you've discovered. And every time I learn something, I'm going to put it out to you too. That's how Marcy and I are sharing constantly stuff. And it's fun, because we each learn differently and we see things differently. And boy, we can really perfect what we're doing, learning the ins and outs and do's and don'ts. But everybody's so different that it is an art to it, because everybody's at a different level. Some are so toxic they have to go slow. Some can't do fruits because they're so toxic they got to do green drinks. And, that's that whole art of moving. But move we have to, and detox we have to, because that's the golden key. Detoxification is that golden key to Wellville, the golden key. I wanted to say that I'm hoping to pick your brain regarding iridology. Aha! And eye transplants. Ooh. Wow. 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 Yes. How long does it take the eyeballs to reset? Ha! Never had a case. Ever. Don't know. Never had a case. Incredible here. To reset to their new environment, body post-plant. Do they bring with them any systemic influences? Eye transplants are on the rise, getting sight to more and more people every day, especially in India. Look at that in India. Is that not cool? That's cool stuff. Well, this is tissue. And tissue has the same issues everywhere you go. Whether it's somebody else's or yours, you got blood and lymph flow to cells. Now, you also have consciousness and vibrational frequencies and different states of consciousness from people these organs and glands came into. So you have frequency adjustments that need to be made. But you also have your own mental and emotional acceptance factors too. So by living in that now, there's no irritation of thought or controversy of thought in affectance of energetic flows. So, I think this is exciting myself. I have not had one case to work on, not one case yet to work on. So this could be exciting, I feel like this is an important topic. I think you're right, too. Lots of love back to you. I think this is so exciting. But I'd like to save people's eyes that what we can, but those that can't, boy, I just love stuff like this. This is where I think the allopathic community should be limited. And I mean, if they are not going to limit themselves, then by law we need to limit them, because it's a killing machine outside when it's general practitioners. They don't have a clue with general practitioners. But surgeries and stuff, my God, we have so many, putting on new faces, putting in new eyes, amazing stuff out there. I just think some of these surgeons are incredible. This microsurgery and stuff, my God. Neat stuff, neat stuff, neat stuff. There's so many neat things, but we have to learn health. Health is a beast of another color and can't be intertwined in any concept of treatment with toxic chemicals and surgeries that remove tissue that can be rebuilt and things, because there is bad surgeries. Just as much as we love great, incredible surgery, there's some real bad surgeons and some bad, unnecessary surgeries going on. There's a lot of crap in that field that shouldn't be, too. But we just all got to perfect ourselves. And we have to use, I will do no harm. So, I'm glad you sent this. Thank you so much. I think this is cool stuff. And there's got that powder, which it can make tissue grow. There's some all kinds of cool stuff in the future, I think. And I think that we have to stand at the pinnacle of this, because this is essential level that man has to attain. He has to at least learn detoxification and regeneration, because it isn't just about detoxification. Remember, it's about regeneration. And this is also including into consciousness and the condition of cells and their genetics and things like this. And we're on the low totem pole right now with all of this. And this is from Anna. Thanks for everything you do. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. I have a few questions. The first one. I have just completed level 1 and was wondering if these DVDs would give me extra information than what I have already learned. I intend to do level 2. Well, truthfully, and you got to realize, most of this information is simplistic, to be honest with you. I tried to keep it simple, but in the simplicity of it, it can become very complex. And there's just a lot of information to it. There's so much. In level 1, we don't have enough time to do protocols. Not at the level I want, and especially iridology protocols, and for you to learn more work with the eye. So level 2 is a lot more iridology and a lot more work on protocols, because the ultimate is just what you're asking me here. When you have a case in front of you, what do you do with it? Any case whatsoever. And so protocols are essential to learn. And once you get protocols and you're thinking down in that, you got it. Because then you can always add to a protocol. When you get your basics, then you can always add to a protocol. You can add whatever you need. If you have to grab lungs, you can grab lungs. But the basic protocol is always going to include going after the endocrine glands, because they control everything, especially the adrenals, the thyroids, the parathyroids, and the pituitaries. Those seem to be the classic four. So if you can lump the lobes as one, thyroid, parathyroid. So you're always going after glands. You're always going after the digestive tract, the GI tract. You're always going after that. That's essential. And you're always going after the lymphatic system. Key number one essential. So, and part of that is the glands. So, all of this kind of is intertwined. But where the humans have the most serious issues is with the lymph system. That has to be considered number one, always. That's kidneys, adrenals, interstitial fluid. Ooh, well, these are cute.
Oh, Dr. Drain, you think?
Oh, yeah, I like that. Our little sacks. They're little sacks with their name on them. Well, that's cute. Cute, cute, cute. So, lymphatic system. Lymph fluids, astringents. Fruits, berries, and melons, lymphatic herbs. Lymph nodes, same thing. Kidneys, same thing. Astringent herbs, kidney herbs, fruits, berries, and melons. Then you've got the GI tract itself. So you've got herbs there that can get into the liver, gallbladder, the pancreas. But again, you got a lymphatic system all through everywhere. So this is why this number one focus, just like the individual with the brain tumor, we have a sewer system that needs serious help. That's the number one focus always, because it'll reach and clean everything out, and 90% of your symptoms are gone. Then you got cell weaknesses of consciousness. Again, herbs come in and help to elevate the consciousness of cells. And it's okay. I've got chemistry here to make you feel good, sent here by the Creator. Now, we also, obviously, because it's in the consciousness, there is the glandular. So it had to come from the Creator because it's in the consciousness to do something like this. So it's all within the body of God anyway, because as you say, there isn't anything that's not in the body of God. You can't have something total and then have something outside of something that's total. Doesn't work like that. So it's like a circle. Everything's within the circle and there's nothing outside of it. It's infinite. So it's just hard to, it's not hard to understand. It's easier to understand if you look at it in that way. You're always going to work on, the gut and stuff. I like to work on the nervous system too, because man's nervous systems are in a wreck. So I like brain and nerve too. So you see me using that about the second month. I also like upper circulation because we have so much, honey, where'd I park the car? So I love to get up there and get more oxygen moving in the brain. Of course, then you got to kill parasites, so that's a nice thing to do. So you always want to do a few-week parasitic kill. That comes standard in the kits, but you want to do that. Parasite Emergy or whatever one you want to use out there, that sort of thing. So that's the rhythm that you want to kind of get into always. I don't care what the condition is, because it's all a result of. So your core issue is you're going into the human body and cleaning up its sewer system, its digestive tract, the things that make it run and work. And therefore then you clean up the two fluids, you clean up the cells. Just like you don't clean up the two fluids, you damage the cells. It's all about the two fluids, and particularly the one big one, interstitial lymphatic fluids. So level 2 is just a lot more of that. And then, of course, iridology, I want you to learn how to do. And then we get a little more into the hands-on. Too much in level 1, because already there's too much information. By the time we're done with level 1, most people are pretty full. So, cramming too much is not smart either. It's better to do a lot of smaller seminars than to just cram, because it's like graduating from any type of career or any career that you've chosen, and you graduate and you get out of school, you've been cramming for years. It's all swirling around. Nothing's seated itself yet. That's why you need consciousness first and the mind second. Curing Cancer DVD, spinal cord and neurological conditions, other cellular botanicals. I have just completed level 1. I was wondering if these DVDs would give me extra information. Oh, Curing Cancer. You know what? I don't know. There's always something there for you on they're not expensive. These Curing Cancer, spinal cord, or cellular botanicals, those are only like $10, $20 CDs. You never know. I tell you, sometimes you guys bring things out of me that's been stored in there. And sometimes things are stored in there I can't remember. There's so many things through these years. I've got, Jesus, I just stacks of stuff I've come through, I don't know what to say. Your level 2 course in October, will you have a webcam facility for international students to participate? Oh, Anna from Australia. Anna, you know what? Let me ask Chris about that. What do you think? I'll have him respond to that, my dear one. How's my time doing? Here we go. Let's see. Regina. Dr. Morse, perhaps you can help me with this. I am 46 years young. Been diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, remitting-relapsing type, 25 years ago. I'm amazed, particularly at the females with MS. It's all over the friggin' place. So many females with MS. There's men too, of course, but there's so many females with MS. Symptoms started a few years before that. 2 years ago, a blood test was positive for persistent, I don't even ask me to pronounce this one. Holy crap. Whatever this is, huge words. I am taking antibiotics for that. What? I follow the Gawler Foundation diet, mostly plant-based, no animal, dairy, or no meat, no fats, no eggs, flaxseed oil, fruit, fish, okay. I have no balance. I have mobility on all... I have no balance. I have mobility on all my body, very limited, cannot walk. My real problem, though, is that I have trigeminal neuralgia. Ah, no! Oh, trigeminal neuralgia. It's a tongue twister for me, but that is a lot of pain, generally tied to the second vertebrae, and it's just extremely painful. Just a pain that doesn't want to go away. My left jaw, yeah, and this takes a lot of my energy and stops me of doing anything. I bet it does. Oh my God, this is horrible. I've had several cases of trigeminal neuralgia, and it's just the pain. Generally, they want to cut a nerve, but I've studied on that. They claim it's coming from the second vertebrae, C-spine, but I don't know, because it does affect the jaw. I had a guy right up here, and the pain was constant, extreme. I've had several of these cases. Doctors tried tablets, Capsaicin Acupuncture, went to hospital, had surgery done on the nerve. Yeah. Nothing seems to work. There's anything that can be rid of this pain. You betcha, honey. You betcha. Let me tell you. Okay, so here we go. First of all, you got to get rid of this MS. Now, this is a case. So, you got to go 100%. You know that. Fish, no. No protein whatsoever. No. Fruits, berries, and melons, and nothing else. You got to get there. I tell you, you know already by listening to this site that I've worked a lot with MS, so nothing below fruits, berries, and melons, my opinion, particularly with the trigeminal. Now, See if you can tolerate and get up there. Get your kidneys filtering. Key there. All right. The cerebellum is full of inflammation. You probably have brain lesions by now, so you got to go after this. So work on those neural lymphatic points. Hit your kidneys. Get on the 14-week protocol. But I'm going to tell you, upper circuit, brain, and nerve, a vital 2 formulas all through your whole case here. You can get up, you can get walking, but the trigeminal nerve, that, I hate that. But you've got to get that out of there. The other thing, I'd go to a chiropractor and have them look at my C-spine and everything else and see if you're all corrected there. You've been in acupuncture, you probably have already done this, but you want to get all this acidosis out of here. Check your parathyroid gland. Make sure you're utilizing calcium properly. All right, so brain and nerve, upper circulation is key on top of your detoxification herbs. And you really want to get into your lymph system and get that moving. Needless to say, adrenal 400 glandulars, there will be some meat right there, but you got to pick up those adrenals and get those kidneys filtering, get this inflammation out of the cerebellum and out of the brain. Very key. Moving lymph is key to success to this case in all ways. Trigeminal pain is like no other, guys, and it's like, I feel for this lady. And so, lady, sweetheart, focus straight ahead. You get going and get this out of you. You can correct all these problems. Get up out of that chair. You've seen enough on this site to know that you can do that. And so you want to hit this and go after this. This is a case. This is an important case, guys, on Facebook. You got to learn about trigeminal neuralgia. You got to learn about that and learn about that. Horrible. Horrible. So we'll fix you up, sweetheart, but you can get there. But you, first of all, 100% raw. Second of all, no meat products whatsoever. No nothing but fruits, berries, and melons. That's it. If you got to use salads for a while to get there, okay, but drop them off as soon as you can. And by the way, I would get rid of salads and do green drinks, because as an MS case, you're not charging. And you cannot lose digestive energy. And at the same time, you need to clean up your digestive tract. But juice the greens. You can eat your fruits, berries, and melons if you want, but you got to juice your greens. Salads, too much energy loss. I mean, because you're already in a chair. So you got to work at the highest, purest form of energetics and alkalinity. At the same time, pulling on this lymph, getting all this inflammation and spasticity out of there. Check the upper spine too, honey. But you dig in and go after this, because you will and can get out of that chair and get this trigeminal neuralgia out of there. I was out digging in my gardens this morning. Is it hot out there or what? Why, I'll tell you what, sweetheart, you want to get rid of that now. Let me see here. This is Robin. Let's see here. Robin, deepest appreciation for all your amazing videos. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate that. Knowledge that you can take the time to put together to enlighten the world. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Thanks. Appreciate what you're saying there. Love you. 1 year now, vegan from Sad American Diet, between 70 and 80% raw. Pretty dang good. With some all fruit fasts, feasts along the way. Sound like you're doing good, sweetheart. Longest being 49 days. And a 10-day and a 20-day master cleanse. Woo-hoo! Holy moly. Your train's running toward Wellville. Man, you got that throttle wide open, honey. Looking forward to summer when more fruit will be available. You must be over in Australia. And sure you are. Love from Melbourne. Love all you Aussies. Boy, you guys are good. Yeah, I heard it's winter over there. Ooh. Isn't that amazing? My question is about my brother's health situation. I have discussed with him and shared the concepts of detoxification. I know that he needs to address the causal factors that cause this symptom of cancer. He is opening his mind to this paradigm of health and healing. I was hoping that you could address his personal situation, which would help to bring things together for him. Sure, be happy to. Okay. He had surgery to remove a tumor on his left rib. Before surgery, doctors were confident that all indicators were that it was not cancerous. Well, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter if a tumor is cancerous or not, because it isn't the tumor that's cancerous. The tumor is just a pocket of fluid. Is that tumor wrapped around tissue? If that tumor's on the side of some tissue and it's not wrapped around tissue, then you're not going to damage tissue because it's a pocket of fluid. But remember, this is interstitial fluid. And when this thing starts growing, it starts as a mass of backed up lymph. And then you can have a cyst out of it, a ball, a pimple, whatever, or you can form deeper in tumors. And this, when it encases cells, then you know these cells can no longer eliminate their waste because they're locked in a pocket of acid fluid to begin with. So it just burns back. Intracellular acidosis, and it just burns back. So yes, you're going to convert these cells. It doesn't matter, benign or not, it's still a tumor and it has to come out. The reason that it's damaging cells, of course, is you're not filtering the lymph. Doesn't matter whether it's a tumor or whatever. So it has to come out of there, number uno. They remove the growth, some surrounding tissue along with a 1.5. They removed 1.5 of his ribs. However, test results came back that it was cancer of the cartilage. Something started that it was very rare, and when people usually have this type of cancer, it is in the knee, and they require amputation. Well, they never could cure cancer anyway, right? They could never cure damaged cells. Matter of fact, their modality is more responsible for damaging cells. Our modality is who rebuilds them. They recommended that he return to have precautionary surgery. Don't like that word, as they wanted to remove some more ribs and more tissue just to make sure that they got it off. Oh, we already did it. They removed an additional 3 ribs. So on the left side, he has had 4.5 ribs removed, enduring major surgery on the same area twice within 7 weeks. That is not good. I bet he's in a lot of pain. And they have inserted a titanium plate to replace the ribs. He is in terrible pain constantly and was living on heavy-duty pain meds just to try and get through the day. Yeah, when you start messing with ribs and removing ribs and stuff, there's nothing much more painful than that. Oh, poor guy. He is unable to sleep without them, I bet. And, of course, that's going to destroy his adrenals and nervous. I know, you get into these catch-22s when all the past goes in. It'd been nice to be able to remove that tumor by reversing how it was formed. Does that make sense? You know, when you understand what a tumor is and what system it's in, then you simply realize that that system isn't filtering. It isn't filtering properly. There's stagnation in that system. If you didn't know about the kidneys, you didn't know about the skin and the eliminative organs to the gigantic lymphatic system. You know when there's a stagnation, there's a blockage, then there's a backup. It's that simple. Whenever there's a blockage, there's a backup. So you fix the blockage. Where's the blockage in the lymphatic system? Let me see. Could it be the venous system? Because that's according to the AMA. No, that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. Let me see. Where's the blockage? Had to be an eliminative organ. Well, what's the eliminative organ of lymph? The liver. No, the liver isn't an eliminative organ. It's a chemical manufacturing plant, and it's in the body. It's not eliminating waste from the outside world. Well, wait a minute. We poop, we pee, we sweat. We cough, we throw up, we cry. Oh, I feel sorry for this dude. Well, first of all, you got to go 100% raw, number one, and ASAP, because any protein is going to make that pain really go way up there. So you want all raw because you got to get interstitial lymphatic acidosis turned around. You've got to get hydrated interstitially to pull this pain out of there and to repair. So I'm gonna have him on a parathyroid for me anyway, since they removed ribs. So I'm going after his calcium utilization. At the same time, I'm going to go after his kidneys. Make sure I'm going to go fix why he had the tumor. Don't ignore why we're focusing on what the ribs and where the ribs are. You got to turn around and focus on where did all that come from. I got to go back to the kidneys, the adrenal glands. I got to clean up the GI tract. Follow me? Absolutely. And so you're going to work on the neural lymphatics. Of course, he's going to be real sore. I don't know about that on the chest. You go around and do them on the back maybe, but I feel sorry for this dude. Now, I would do some lipid ingestion right now as anti-inflammatories. I would take coconut oil. If you have to find hemp oil, I would do the hemp oil. Find some oils, evening primrose oil. Suck down avocados. Get some fatty acids in your diet to act as anti-inflammatories. But all these fruits are anti-inflammatories, anti-pain. At the same time, you got to get your kidneys filtering, get the adrenals up, get your steroids going more. Fix this properly. He has been recommended that he does physiotherapy and osteotherapy. However, the sessions are extremely painful. They never stop. The body will rebuild that nicely. I would take a rest and let my body rest and let the chemistry of the foods and the herbs do this. You can use herbs to clean and herbs to rebuild. All right? I love removing tissue just in case. However, when he does not have this therapy, he finds that his body becomes stiff and immobile because he's one big... Ha! I heard every one of you. Every one of you got that right. He's one big acid. He's one big acid. And even the surgery and everything else they did to him created acidosis. So your brother is one big acid, bro. If you're listening, you're one big acid. That's why you're stiff. That's your lymph system. You're stiff and tight and hurting and pain. That's acidosis. You got to remove acidosis. That's what it always has been in the first place. So get your kidneys to filter and start moving that system that caused the tumor. And that's where you have your blockages in your kidneys filtration. Get your adrenals up and go gangbusters. So you want to go fruits, berries, and melons 100% if you can. If you can't, then do a salad at night. But get 100% raw. Get this pain out of you. To remove pain, you must remove what? Acids. To remove acids, what system are you going to be focusing on? The blood? No, because the blood doesn't deal with acids like the lymphatic system does. And of course, that was a tumor. That's the lymph system. See where we're going here? That's why detoxification is your golden key, because that is what unlocks kidneys that have lost its ability to filter. That's what helps to turn on, hydrate interstitially. That's what begins to start bringing life and substance back to the human body, removing pain and the decay of the cell. Essential. Or you can't get well. You'll be fighting this and pain meds, then you'll lose your nervous system, and then, of course, remember, this is a fluid that's systemic, so this isn't just the ribs, it's a systemic problem. You'll start seeing tumors pop up in other places, and then you're going to Hellville. So your brother's got to turn his little car around and head to Wellville, and Wellville is a fruits, berries, melons, and salads, and herbs to get him going. Make sure the parathyroid is up so he can repair those tissues and maybe grow back some tissue. That would be exciting. The doctors are clear that he should have been weaned off the pain meds by now, but they know they went in and did one of the most painful surgeries on him. And then, he's already... However, he is insistent on having them gain some relief from the chronic, because he's in a lot of pain. And then they're going to get him addicted. I mean, this is just a story that's over and over. I don't have a pic of his eyes. He also has... That'd be nice to see. He also had, but it's lymphatic right off. Immediately, the pain is acidosis, and that's of the lymph system. So you already know he's not moving lymph. And, simplistic, but very devastating. After their recommendation is to have surgery to fix it, I have suggested some Bowen therapy to assist with the punctured nerve, which hopefully by the time you are reading this, he would have this symptom sorted. Now, good luck. I hope so. For his sake. I believe that his nervous system has been weakened. Oh yeah, and then all the narcotics he's on is weakening him. And then the surgical propofol stuff is weakening him. So yeah, so you got to brain and nerve number 2, key for me. I would definitely hit the adrenals hard, adrenal 400s, go after the kidneys, go after the lymph. Everything that we know to be true here, guys. As he suffered from chronic stress for many years, so he has no adrenals. And he shut down his kidneys, of course. Of course, then you see the lymph back up, and of course, then you see the tumors. See how we're going here? I'm sorry I'm going fast, but I only have a few minutes left. and have been amplified by recent events. No kidding. He is opening to the idea of detoxification. Well, I hope so, brother, because this is the only way you're going to find permanent remedy and a life worth living. I was hoping that you could address this issue with a protocol. Get on the 14-week protocol. I would just do that, and I would do it now, and I would change my diet like yesterday. Get off of any proteins, anything, just restrict it to fruits, berries, melons, and salads. And if you want to get rid of the salads, do green drinks. I don't care. He has a very acidic system. No kidding, sweetheart. Badly, and suffers from gout. There you go. So he's got high fungus. So put him on parasite M for 2 or 3 months because uric acid is a really pinprick acid. So he's just one big acid, no question. So you got to get rid of acidosis, and that's a kidney, adrenal, lymphatic issue. And of course, the tumor was a lymphatic issue. So, and this is systemic, so he could have problems in multiple places here. Don't panic with that. Of course, he's had and get this, he's had gout, he's experienced anxiety, panic attacks for years. So there you go. There's your shoe in. There's your adrenals down, kidneys are down because of that. Kidneys are down, the lymph is down. The lymph is down, obstruction. Of course, that's a blockage to the lymph system. So now you have a sewer system that can't filter waste anymore. So now you're forming tumors. And of course, these are acids, so you see what I'm saying? So you can get your love. Lots of love to you, Melbourne, Australia. And you can get your brother fixed up and turned around. And I would say that Mr. Brother needs to read this and get on that. So I'm sorry, God, I have so many questions. Here's one real quick question, Karen. Karen, can you get better if you used to smoke? Hey, oh yes. By God. Don't believe in anything that you think you're permanently stuck with anything, because that's like sticking you in hell, Bill, without the keys. And that's not true. There's nothing incurable. There's some people working real hard for things, like in talking about earlier on, digesting and things like that. It takes a while to wake up the dead. And that's how, the younger you are, unfortunately, the younger you are, the more serious these things can be, because the weaker the genetic thinking that's down, the longer and the harder it is to rebuild. There's no question about that. That's why now's the time, not yesterday, now, or not tomorrow, now. And so that's where you guys come in. You guys are so good. You can see why you're important, don't you? Every one of you are vital to creation right now, and you're light. You're the light in the darkness. Each and every one of you that's learning and taking this on. So very well, I was looking at Danny's 160,000 subscribers. Dan McDonald, what are you doing, young man? Anyway, I love you all, and you've done well. Take care of yourselves, and we're always here. We're always here for you, and always will be here for you, both on the outer and in the inner worlds. Love you guys. Bye-bye. May the blessings be.